So he, so it was spring. It was more of the nickel. Early fall camp was probably more of the safety spot. Now he's kind of just blending them. So yeah, and I think DK McDonald does a good job of counting those reps, and so we kind of know how much he's playing at each, and so really when you're learning the defense for those guys back there, they're really mentally they're learning all the positions back there. So the safety spots and the nickel spots. So I think that makes it a little bit easier than if he was in a different room than that position.
Hey, Brian, Lance was talking about OJ a little bit ago, and just how focused he is on really making the most of this last run. And I wonder what's been your favorite part about coaching OJ Burrow.
OJ is such a good kid, just so nice all the time, and really coachable, like attentive, listens, responds. He's very, I think he's smart in the classroom. He's smart on the football field. So, and really, what's been good is probably in 2021, our first year here, he was doing all that at 165 pounds and really taking his lumps, physically in a lot of ways. And, now he's probably put on 20 pounds. And so to see the physical development, and then he's continued. He's just a humble kid, and really works hard all the time. And so talk about like joy, a joy to coach, and a joy to watch develop. That's him. And I don't know, you guys probably weren't out of practice today, but man, he had an awesome day today. So and I'm really excited for him, because I think this year is going to be the kind of year that he's really been looking for.
I know you're busy, but did you get a chance to watch him on the mic'd up thing they did with him?
I didn't. Did he?
You have to check it out. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's part of it, right? He's finding his voice a little bit more. And
yeah.
That was fun to watch, but I wonder how much you've seen of that.
Yeah, he really is. I would think for his first couple of years, you didn't really hear him talk. So, but we really encouraged him in that way, and he quite honestly he plays a spot out there where you got to talk all the time, and so you got to put your inhibitions away out there and scream your communication, and he's really taken a hold of that, and I'm really proud of him.
I'm wondering just broadly, who have been some guys that have maybe caught your attention during camp?
I think there's a few. Dylan Woodkey has a defensive end. Probably, I feel like we're going to get more out of him than maybe we thought we might at the start of things. Just not knowing really who where he came from and all those kind of things. He looks like he can, he'll be a good solid player. Again, I probably said this before, but I think of guys like DJ Withers on the inside is just watch him this year. He's going to have a great year, and he's really a tough guy to block in there, and he's super intense and relentless, and I think that's really speaks well for him. I think some of our linebackers, Cornell Wheeler, we've asked him to really kind of step up into the limelight of things, and he's really responded good to that. He's for the Rich Miller of last year, he's trying to step into that role a lot more, and he's doing a really good job of it. Plus he's playing well. JB Brown has really flashed at linebacker. Happy with what he's done, and again he's really going to be a downhill explosive player that we like. I think a guy in the everybody knows about him, but Mello Dodson's had a really good fall camp also. I just talked today. We're just watching film before I walked in here, and there's plays that come his way now, and he thuds up aggressively on ball carriers and receivers. Where I said, hey, man, if that was him 2 years ago, he would have been backpedaling away from a play like that. So I think he's had a lot of growth, and we expect big things from him, but I believe he's really trying to be the whole person, right? The whole player, and so those are some guys that have kind of really stuck out to me for sure.
Coach Lapple talked a little bit about Bijo, obviously playing with a cast right now, but just what have you seen from him during his first game with you guys?
Well, I'd like to see him without a cast on. He's been, I think it's been about practice 3 that happened, so he's really been limited. And he's a super good kid. He's really eager to learn, to prove himself. He plays aggressively. You look at him. We have a number of defensive ends like him that are young, they're long, they're athletic, they run. So, that's going to be a good position for years to come around here. And he's one of them. Like I said, it's been tough on him because he's sort of playing with one hand. And I don't know that we've fully seen all that he's capable of, but I know that he wants it, and I know that he practices hard. And to me, it's just a matter of time. Unfortunately for him, he's just been limited enough this fall where, he's still a little bit on the back burner.
Obviously, expectations around Melo and Kobe are high, but what do you expect out of this season? What are you hoping to see out of it?
Out of
Kobe and Melo.
Yeah, well, they gotta step up and play to their capabilities, and I feel like they're both motivated to do that. And last year is last year, and whatever the accolades that come, whatever people say about you, that's just something people say about you. And if you don't produce, then they're gonna quit saying it about you. So they just need to keep their feet on the ground and keep working at things. And I think Coach McDonald again does a good job with those guys of keeping them pretty grounded. And always, there's always things that guys can work on. So they're working on the little details of their position to really improve. So we're looking for big things from them. We better have big things from them if we're going to be the kind of defense and the team that we want to be, because they are literally some of our the best players that we have, and we put a lot on them. And if they can't cover and their guys are open, then we're going to be in trouble. So they better cover.
Earlier in camp, we heard from Coach McDonald about Kobe kind of wanting to learn how to play nickel corner and embracing that. Is that something you see you guys doing in the game, or would it probably be Damaris McGee, younger guys at nickel corner?
Wait till Thursday, but hopefully if we ever get in those situations. But yeah, he has been practicing in there some, and taking a hold of it pretty good. I think he's eager to learn, and I think it helps with his, in his mind, some versatility. And playing on the inside is not just playing on the outside all the time. That's a hard. You got a lot to know there, and I think he's done a good job of spending some extra time studying and knowing what's going on. So he is one of the guys that can play that when we go to our true nickel. There's other guys also, but so far I haven't seen any reason to say, well, that's not a good fit for him at all. He's done a good job with it so far.
And 2 years ago, Tommy and DJ were getting 10 to 15 snaps a game. On one hand, how have you seen those reps from 2022 help those guys going into this year? And for guys like Blake and Marcus, how can they maybe earn that role that then can maybe pay dividends later?
Yeah, I would think the Blake Harolds of the world, those guys, that's kind of where they're at right now. Where maybe DJ and Tommy were a couple years ago, where you can spot play them in certain situations and things, so I believe that we can get that out of some of those backups. But yeah, that's just part of the process. It's part of the maturing and the grooming process to get a guy ready to, instead of playing 10 snaps a game, I can play 40. And we're counting on those guys in there. I'm talking about DJ and Tommy and Caleb Taylor, and counting on those guys to be pretty stout in there, and I think they all can be. So, but that's a position again where we're going to play 4, 5, 6 guys a game sometimes, depending on the situation. So you do need some depth there, and you gotta keep developing that depth, and really they got to get opportunities. If they got to get meaningful opportunities, if you are going to develop depth in that position. So we're going to make that stuff happen. And again, it's production. So if they're doing the job they should, then they keep getting those reps and maybe increase as time goes on. If they don't, well, there's a lot of competition there, so we'll find the right guys.
What does the defense need to do to qualify success for you in the season opener?
It's about us. So we have our standards of how we want to play and what we want to do. You've heard me say this before probably a lot of times about, we need to play hard, we need to play fast, we need to be physical, we need to do things in a sound fundamental way, and we need to do them from snap 1 to snap 60 or however many snaps we have. And so we're going to prepare for what we know of our opponent, and make sure that we understand what they're doing and how we fit up to things. But quite honestly, just like any game, it's more about what you do than what somebody's going to try to do to you. And so we just need to not make any assumptions about anybody, not take anything for granted. We haven't won a game yet. They haven't won a game yet. We've accomplished nothing so far. So let's do the very best that we can, and then we'll let the results speak for themselves.
Anything else, Coach Borland? All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Brian.
Okay, guys.